Hello and welcome to Baking on a Budget. This time we have this delicious and simple cheese scone recipe. We have all the materials over here and I'm going to run through them, tell you exactly what we've got and exactly how much they cost. To begin with, we have 300 grams of self-raising flour, which is 15 pence. We have 80 grams of butter at 60 pence. We have 130 grams of cheddar cheese at 97 pence. We have 120 millilitres of milk at 8 pence. We have 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder at 5 pence, and we have a pinch of salt. Total cost of the recipe is £1.85. We're going to get 8 delicious cheese scones out of that, making the cheese scone 23 pence each. Now, as usual, all of the conversions for this are in the description below the video, and we're going to start with 300 grams of self-raising flour, and we're going to set that into the bowl. And along with that, we want 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. That's it there. And to that, we're just going to add a pinch of salt. Okay, so we want to sieve this into the bowl, knock any lumps through. Now, to the flour, we want to add the butter. This is 80 grams of unsalted butter. And we want to start rubbing that in. Same process here, just rub the fat, the butter, into the flour until we end up with a nice rough sort of breadcrumb mix. And there we have it a couple of minutes later, and that is rubbed through and combined. Looking good. Now, next thing, we want to add this cheese. This is a mature cheddar which I'm using here, and there is 130 grams of that going into the mix, and we just want to turn that in. And this is going to make a really delicious savoury scone. Now, as I say, this recipe, simplicity itself. We have next the 120 ml of whole milk. You can use semi-skimmed if you wish. Now, I'm going to mix this together, and this should start coming together fairly quickly into a fairly stiff sort of mixture. As I say, that comes together really quickly, and once it's come together a bit, just press it together with the hands like this. Right, so let's get this mixture out onto the board. Let's make sure everything is incorporated. I'm just going to work that a little bit. Right, there it is. What we want to do with that at this point is roll it out to about 2.5 centimetres. It's about 1 inch thick. I just want a little flour on the pin. That's looking good. Now we have our pastry cutter, and we have the great debate, press or turn. I've always turned, and it's never really made any difference to the results so far as I can see. And we can bring this dough back together. Quite a stiff dough this, but that's all right, this will be fine. Roll that out once more to about the same thickness, and there is 6, 7, and we'll make just a straw there, stick that in at the same time, and I'll give it to the birds. Now, these are going on to a lightly greased baking tray, and just rub a bit of lard on there. A well-used baking tray, as you can see. And what we're going to do is just put them on there like that. We should get the 8 of them on the one tray. As I say, these aren't going to expand much, hopefully they will rise a little. We've got them on there, and we've got our bit for the birds. Okay, and I'm going to dispense with the egg wash for these, and I'm just going to use a little bit of the milk that was left over from the mixture. As I say, very simple recipe, this one, very easy to do, not more than 10 minutes work. And from that we're going to get 8 absolutely delicious savoury cheese scones. Now, can I just say, whilst I'm doing this, if you're enjoying the video, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more very simple and absolutely delicious recipes like this in the future, please do consider subscribing to the channel. There are many more recipes to come. Right, now these beauties are ready to go, and they are going to go into a preheated oven at 200 degrees centigrade. The conversions for that into Fahrenheit and gas mark are in the description below, and they're going to stay in there for about 15 minutes. Fresh out of the oven, look at them. Smell absolutely beautiful. Okay, let me show you this. Very simple recipe, that one. That took no longer than about 10 minutes to put together. been in the oven for about 17 minutes, and that is 8 beautiful cheese scones. Now, I've cut this one in half. I'm going to try it with some butter, and I'll let you know exactly how that tastes. That's a beautiful savoury scone. It's got that sort of melt in the mouth thing, a little bit of butter on top, absolutely fantastic. And as I say, 23 pence a piece. If you've enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up, and if you would like to see more delicious home-baked food like this, always on a budget, very inexpensive, please do consider subscribing to the channel. I'm going to finish off this scone, and I thank you very much for watching.